An article in the Los Angeles Herald in January 1904 notes that the Rockefeller of Tarkio College, David Rankin, owner of the largest farm and stock ranch in the world, was vacationing there. Perhaps the comparison was just. Both got their living from the ground, Rockefeller from oil, Rankin from farming. Like Rockefeller, Rankin was a devout Christian who did not smoke, drink, swear, or run his businesses on Sundays. Like Rockefeller, who founded the University of Chicago, Rankin was the co-founder and benefactor of Tarkio College in Tarkio, Missouri. Who was David Rankin? Born in Sullivan County, Indiana, May 25, 1825, Rankin exemplified the pioneer and entrepreneurial spirit that settled the American plains, as Dan Bum describes in his book, Sod Busting. Rankin's father moved with the family to Illinois in 1835 because Sullivan County was too wicked to raise a family there. With only primitive schooling, Rankin was working by age 11 in his father's sawmill. At age 21, he started working a farm by himself, breaking Prairie with a wooden moldboard plow and an oxen team that he purchased on credit. In 1847, he drove a herd of cattle to Chicago over the open prairie so that they could feed as they traveled. There he became acquainted with Swift and Armour and others in the packing business. While there, Chicago Mayor Long John Wentworth arranged for Rankin to purchase 80 acres near Biggsville, Illinois for $200. Always interested in the latest technology, he bought a McCormick Reaper in 1848 for $125. Rankin said that the machine helped him save money in two ways. One, it saved labor and saved the cost of providing whiskey for farmhands. Being a temperance advocate, he paid his hired hands on Mondays instead of Fridays to reduce their temptation to profligacy. Rankin continued to purchase lands, increasing his holdings to 400 acres by 1850. In 1853, he conceived of a design to combine two shovel plows to enable him to plow on both sides of a row. During a lean year for corn, he bought corn in quantity at 8 to 10 cents a bushel and sold it later for 80 cents a bushel. He then, as was his practice, invested the profits in more land, borrowing money seasonally to finance farm operations. By 1882, he owned 25,000 acres in Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois, with 20,000 acres in corn, and was feeding 500 to 600 cattle. He hired managers and laborers to run various aspects of his business and always invested in the latest technology and farm implements. In 1877, Rankin took advantage of the availability of a free cattle range land in proximity to the Union Pacific Railroad in Nebraska, and operated the Bar 7 Ranch and Rankin Livestock Company on 51,000 acres in the Sand Hills region near Seneca, Nebraska. They had as many as 7,000 cattle there until a lawsuit and the encroachment of grangers led Rankin to shut down the operation in 1887. He bought huge amounts of land near Tarkio, Missouri, leading efforts to establish the new town, and moved there with his second wife in 1885. In addition to his farm efforts, he established businesses, Rankin Manufacturing, which produced farm equipment, Rankin Electric Light and Power Company, a bank, pictured here, and others, and was the co-founder of Tarkio College, which is affiliated with the United Presbyterian Church, to which he donated $285,000 during his lifetime. By 1905, he owned 23,000 acres in Missouri and another 3,500 in Iowa. His children owned nearly 5,000 additional acres. This operation was dubbed the largest corn farm in the world, producing an average of 800,000 bushels per year, in addition to marketing about 8,000 cattle and 15,000 hogs each year. Rankin practiced crop rotation, systematic fertilization. He used hybrid and experimental corn that increased production. All the corn was fed to the cattle and hogs he raised. increasing his return beyond that which was possible if he just sold the corn. When he died in 1910, his estate was valued at over $4 million, worth in 2013 dollars $124,310,000. Not bad for a plain farmer. Thank you for listening.